My name is Jacques van Lankveld. I'm a psychologist and professor of clinical psychology. I started in sex research and sexology when I was actually working in addiction treatment. And I learned that in that field of expertise, there was a lot of experience with what we call self-help. And when I noticed that in sex research and sexology there was hardly any initiative to provide people with possibilities to help themselves, I thought this would be very important and interesting to do research on. I've combined clinical research with my clinical work for a very long time, for about 30 years. And after that I changed more to basic research. So the last period of my career was more devoted to fundamental studies. Yeah, it changed a lot. Technology made a big difference. I started working in what is called bibliotherapy. You write a book and people use that book to help themselves. When we had the internet, I changed to making programs on the internet. First we did a simple translation of the book, the content of the book, into an internet intervention, but slowly this developed into more internet-specific, more dedicated applications of sex therapy on the internet. I've worked in medical sexology for a long time. That means people who are patients from doctors in the hospital and who have sexual problems with combined, let's say, with gynecological problems or urological problems, or combined with cancer or cardiological problems. That's the population that I was working with for a long time. So I worked with many people who had some sort of acute or chronic disease and who were frustrated in their sexual life. I was invited. That's a very good reason to join a network. But more trivially, a person in the Netherlands that I know very well, a colleague, he was invited by Marianne to join the network, and he couldn't do that because of other obligations. So he asked if I would step in, and I did it with much pleasure, because it was something at the end of my career that I would like to do, because working in this European network makes me step up into a much bigger platform. So I meet new people that I would never have met outside the network. It's a great experience. I think it's going to make a big difference in sex education, in a sort of basic education for people who study medicine and psychology at the university, because in many countries, they don't know much about sexology, about sex research, and the basic curriculum that we will provide, Working Group 3 will do that, is really very useful in helping them to make a big step in this education. So people who graduate from medical school or from psychology faculty, they will then know how to recognize sexual problems, how to deal with sexual problems, how to talk with people who have sexual problems. So that's a big step forward. And I think the network is really going to make a big difference in that respect. Yes, I've come to know that much better than I did before. I've talked a lot with people from, let's say, Latvia or Poland or Czech Republic, and I didn't know what was going on in these countries, in this field. So I learned that it's not. I come from a country where there's a lot of sex education. There's training, formal training for sex therapists, for people, for medical specialists who are interested in sexology. So we have a kind of a luxurious situation. And now I have come to recognize that it's not that good in many countries. So I think we should use our expertise, our experience, to help other countries to go forward. I would say that sexual medicine, sex research, sexology is the main interface between the body and the mind. There is no topic that can give you a better view of the influence of different factors, physical, biological, medical, disease-related, psychological, relationship-related, as in sexology. So it's a very interesting field.